Hi everyone, my name's Nyasha. I am the beautiful husband of the beautiful Nana. And this is part of our baby pregnancy number 2 videos. And I just thought I would come on here and discuss how I felt during the pregnancy, how I felt from the day Nana told me till, basically the first trimester, which is 12 weeks.
This is love, sweet love, coming from the bottom of my heart. It's Nyasha and Nana.
So I kind of knew that Nana was pregnant because every now and again she'd say, "Oh, I'm not feeling too great," and I kind of remember from the first pregnancy, the first time that I kind of thought, or when she told me that she was pregnant, she had been like not feeling too great for the first few weeks, and at that point I didn't know. And then when she took the test, then she found out that she was pregnant. But yeah, I just remembered that whole process of her not feeling too well. She was feeling tired. She was not like enjoying it much, not enjoying a lot of things. So. And yeah, I could feel sometimes you can feel that distancing, especially when someone's not well. Like you feel like she's distancing. She's not finding your jokes as funny, or she'd find me more annoying than usual. So I kind of knew that she was pregnant because of that. And then when she told me, I was just like, yeah, I knew it. And some of it was based on that. Some of it was also based on like certain things. I saw some tests in my cupboard, and I was like, what are they doing there? But yeah, so that's kind of how I felt when she told me. And for the first trimester, it was really tough. One thing that made it tough was also because of COVID. What happened, because COVID was just like it just meant, you have to stay at home, right? So they shut down all the schools, they shut down all nurseries, they shut down workplaces, which is great. I could work from home. But then it also meant that I was taking care of Nathaniel. And because Nana is a key worker, it also meant that I had to be at home by myself with Nathaniel while she was at work. And so that meant I'm teaching Nathaniel, I'm also working. And that was hard in itself. That in itself was really difficult because Nathaniel wants attention, I need to give attention to work. And my workplace, they understood that, oh yeah, you have a child, but they also don't understand how much time a child needs. So me and Nathaniel would literally be in an office, my small office by ourselves. I would bring his table and chair, I would give him paper, say, okay, do your ABCs, so he was learning how to write then. We had a sheet of paper on the wall, and I'd say, okay, count to 100. So he's able to count to 100, which is great and amazing. I love the fact that he's able to do that. He would then do his ABCs. He knows a few words as well, how they look. So he was able to spell those words and tell me what they are. So, which is great. But then afterwards, now we have to feed him because he needs to eat 3 times a day. So, at minimum. So most of the time it's 6 times. So give him a meal. Then after his meal, he has to have a snack. And I was kind of refusing to show him, put him in front of a TV, because unless if I'm in a meeting. So when I was in meetings that were hour long, then I'll say, okay, you can go and watch TV, because after 15 minutes, he's not entertained anymore. He wants you to do something else with him. So I struggled to do that. And then what made it even harder in the first trimester was because when Nana would come home, sometimes before she was pregnant, she'd come home and she'd take Nathaniel from me, and she'd be like, okay, do stuff with him while I go and do something else. So I'll get a break from him. But as soon as she got pregnant, she had no energy for anything. She had no energy. She wasn't even eating. So that I'll talk about the food part in a bit. But she had no energy to even do anything. So she'd come home, hi, I'm not feeling too well, and she'd go up the stairs. And that's how it was for basically 12 weeks. So literally, she'd come home, go upstairs, or come home, go into the living room, lie down, or she was mostly going upstairs, going to bed. And I'll tell Nathaniel, don't disturb your mommy. So I'll then go make dinner for Nathaniel, and he would eat, I would put him to bed, and then I'd go do a few things by myself. But literally, I'd leave. Nana was left alone for 12 weeks. So every now and again, I'd be like, oh, how are you doing? Are you okay? She'd tell me I'm not feeling too well, and then she'd go back to, she's just like, oh, she was really depressed. And at that point, I couldn't even think of anything we could do. I'd be like, do you want to watch something? She's like, no. So I'd leave her just to watch by herself. I'd leave her just to entertain herself. And it was really tough, like, because I hate seeing my wife like that. And she'd come up with, she would tell me that, I forgot what she said she had at that point, or she felt that she had. I literally tried everything. I would go on YouTube, watch YouTube videos about all these things, how people got over it. I bought the bands for morning sickness and stuff. I bought hard sweets. I bought ginger sweets because people were saying ginger helps. I tried everything, man. I literally tried everything. I wanted to help my wife get back into her fit self, but nope, that was not happening. So I just had to leave her. And then the other thing was, she literally, everything that I cooked, she was not touching. I would cook something and I would be like, oh, this is for me and Nathaniel, and the food would go off because it's only 2 people eating it, but I'd make it for 3. So like it was a struggle. I'm happy that, you know, it happened. And you know, I always, in every situation I go through, I'm always like, you know what, there's a reason why it happened. There's the reason why it's like this. At the end, we're gonna appreciate it even more. And yeah, this happened for the way it did for a reason. And for the first 12 weeks, it was tough. It was really tough. I really struggled. COVID made it even harder because Nathaniel was always in my face, and so that made it even harder. And I was always at home. It's cold. Just didn't help anything. But I'm appreciative for where we are now. I'm appreciative that we went through it. And I'm even more appreciative that, you know, now that we've come out of that first trimester, things are better. I'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed my perspective. Husbands out there, I know some of you are going through this right now. This too shall pass is the best thing I can say for all of you. I think that's the best way for me to put it. This too shall pass. Where you don't feel like you know who your wife is. I did not know who my wife was. I didn't know. My wife would come home. She would see dirt on the floor. Because I was tired. Because I have Nathaniel, right? And then I would cook for Nathaniel. And then like the house would be a mess. Because he was literally running rampage around the house. And I would just leave and I'd just be like, hey, let's see if Nana comes and, you know, she's annoyed by it. She would literally come, hi. She didn't even see the dirt. I didn't even think she noticed the dirt. I don't think she noticed it. She just literally went straight back upstairs. She just left everything. She would come downstairs, look at food. Nah, like it would just not make her feel well. She would go straight back upstairs. Like, oh my days, even clothes. My clothes, I had to try different like things. What do they call these things? Like conditioners. I couldn't use conditioners. I couldn't use Fairy Non-Bio because Fairy Non-Bio was not making her feel well. So I had to get unscented things, and then those ones don't work for me because I sweat a bit and so my armpits were smelling great. So I couldn't use those, and so then I would be like, I have to wash my clothes separate to everyone's clothes. So I'd wash my clothes and I'd have to dry them in a place where she cannot smell them. And then afterwards, like those same clothes, I had to then spray them with with something else that's not like as strong, so that she can't smell it, because the smell was just like putting her off. Like all the clothes I was washing, bed sheets. Oh my gosh, bed sheets. I had to like rewash sometimes, rewash them. Like, oh, they smell. Rewash. And yeah, it was tough, man. I stopped washing Nana's clothes because I was just like, whatever washing thing I use is going to mess up her nose. So she then found some powder that was not scented at the shops, lucky enough. So that's the one that she was using for her clothes, and we started using it for the bed sheets and blankets and stuff like that. Yeah, which helped. But yeah, like it's been a tough period, but I'm grateful that we're out of this period and that, I'm getting a semblance of how my wife was before she got pregnant. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, And this is one of the first times for myself. Let me know if you liked it or you didn't like it. If you don't like it, I'm not doing another one. I'm gonna, you know, have Nana sit next to me. She's the character of the channel. But yeah, love you guys. Take care. And it's Nyasha. Bye.
It's Nyasha.